The New York Yankees are entering a critical juncture in their season, and it all starts with a bold move from manager Aaron Boone that could completely reshape the trajectory of the team in 2025. For a squad that has been struggling more than thriving this August, Boone's decision to shake up the closer role is exactly the kind of shakeup the Yankees desperately needed. It's no secret that this team has been treading water, stuck in a rut that many fans hoped they'd avoid after such a promising start to the year. The bullpen, in particular, has been a roller coaster of emotions. Moments of brilliance followed by spells of utter collapse. But now, Boone is putting the closer spot up for grabs, signaling a fresh start and opening the door for new players to step up and claim the spotlight. At the center of this shift is David Bednar, a pitcher acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates, who has quietly become one of the bright spots in the Yankees pitching staff. Today, he delivered an outstanding performance, closing out a critical game against the Texas Rangers with a 5-inning save and 5 strikeouts, helping the Yankees avoid a sweep and finally securing a much-needed victory. It was a clutch performance that could mark the beginning of something new, a chance for Bednar to prove that he can handle the pressure and be the reliable closer the Yankees have been searching for all season. What makes this move so interesting is Aaron Boone's reputation as a manager who loves to experiment, who isn't afraid to shake things up and try different options until he finds what works. The Yankees' bullpen has been a revolving door this season, and Boone's willingness to mix and match relievers in high-pressure situations shows that he's looking for more than just a quick fix. He wants to develop depth, build confidence across his pitching staff, and ultimately find a closer who can close the door when the stakes are highest. Bednar's performance today was huge, but Boone isn't ready to hand him the rollout right just yet. The plan is to try out multiple candidates, including Luke Weaver and possibly others like Duvall, to see who steps up and who can truly handle the ninth inning consistently. On the other side of this bullpen battle is Devin Williams, a pitcher who came into the season with high expectations but has struggled mightily as of late. Williams, who was traded from the Milwaukee Brewers with hopes that he and Luke Weaver would form a dynamic closing duo, has seen his numbers spiral in the wrong direction. What once looked like a promising addition has turned into a source of concern for the Yankees. His earned run average is up over 5, and his confidence seems shaken, a far cry from the dominant closer he once was. There's a real question now about what went wrong. Is it the pressure of pitching in the Bronx? Is it the weight of expectations? Or perhaps a mental block triggered by the arrival of new bullpen arms, sparking a sense of competition that Williams hasn't handled well? Boone's comments shed some light on the situation. He mentioned that he had considered using Bednar in a 4-out save situation, but ultimately stuck with Williams in a key moment during the second game of the series against the Rangers. Unfortunately, Williams was unable to secure the scoreless inning and gave up the go-ahead runs that cost the Yankees the game. It was a painful moment that underscored the ongoing issues Williams has faced this month. He just hasn't been able to find that swing and miss stuff or the control that made him so effective in Milwaukee. Instead, he's been inconsistent, prone to allowing runs when it matters most, and now looks like a glaring weakness on a team already struggling to find its footing. This kind of roller coaster season for Williams is all the more frustrating, because just a few months ago, he was seen as one of the Yankees' few reliable bullpen options. After a slow start in April, he seemed to have figured things out, especially when Luke Weaver landed on the injured list and Williams stepped into the closer role full-time. At that point, it looked like the Yankees had found a dependable arm to lean on late in games. But the bullpen landscape changed rapidly. New acquisitions brought more options, but also more uncertainty, and suddenly Williams was under pressure not just to perform, but to prove he still deserved the spot. There's also speculation that the trade rumors swirling around Williams and the influx of new relievers might have impacted his mental game. The fear of losing his role, the comparisons to guys like Bednar and Duvall, all may have added to the pressure cooker environment that pitchers face in New York. It's not easy to pitch in front of a demanding fan base and a spotlight that never dims, especially when a team is struggling overall. This all paints a picture of a bullpen in flux, a group of pitchers trying to find their identity amid the highs and lows of a tough season. When the Yankees are hot, they can look like a championship caliber team, riding momentum and confidence to a string of wins. But when they hit a cold streak, and August has been cold, very cold, they can look downright awful, often worse than some of the worst teams in the league. That inconsistency has been the story not just for the bullpen, but for the entire team. Despite the frustrations, the recent win over the Rangers gave the Yankees a small but vital breath of fresh air, breaking a 5-game losing streak, and finally, stopping the bleeding is a step in the right direction. David Bednar's contribution cannot be overstated. His ability to shut down the Rangers late in the game was exactly the kind of performance the Yankees need more of. It wasn't just about the save. It was about showing that there is someone in the bullpen who can handle the pressure, someone who could potentially stabilize a shaky relief corps. On the offensive side, moments like Paul Goldschmidt's pinch hit home run added some much-needed spark and demonstrated that the Yankees lineup still has weapons capable of making an impact even in tight games. But the real focus remains on the pitching, particularly on who will emerge as the go-to closer moving forward. Boone's comments about Bednar reveal the trust he's beginning to place in the pitcher. He recalled how Bednar gave him a confident look when handed the ball, a look that said, "I got this." That kind of mentality is exactly what the Yankees need in the 9th inning. A fearless approach that can help close out games and lift the team during this critical stretch of the season. Looking at Bednar's overall numbers this season, they are solid. A sub-3 earned run average, 17 saves, and more than 50 strikeouts. He has experience in high-leverage situations from his time with the Pirates, and now the challenge will be adapting to the intense New York spotlight and proving he can perform consistently on this stage. Meanwhile, the criticism around the Yankees' recent struggles has been loud and relentless. Commentators have pointed out that the team seems lost, with Boone looking uncertain in key moments and the Yankees falling behind rivals like the Red Sox, Rangers, and Blue Jays in the playoff race. The season feels like it's teetering on. The edge and the bullpen issues are a big part of that. The reality is that the Yankees have become a testing ground for bullpen experiments. Boone is trying different relievers in the 9th inning, hoping to find the right mix. Jake Bird has been optioned out, and now it's about seeing if Duvall or Weaver can step into that role alongside Bednar. It's a process of trial and error, and every outing matters. For fans, this period of uncertainty is tough to swallow. The Yankees have a history of dominance and high expectations, so watching the team struggle to find consistency is frustrating. Yet, the hope remains that this shakeup, this chance for fresh arms to prove themselves, could be the spark the Yankees need to turn things around. The next few weeks, including a crucial series against the Houston Astros, will be a litmus test for this bullpen experiment. Will Bednar solidify his role? Can Williams regain his form, or will Boone have to look elsewhere? How will the team's pitching staff as a whole respond under pressure? These questions hang heavy over the Bronx, and the answers will define whether the Yankees can claw back into playoff contention or continue to slide. This is far from the season anyone expected when the calendar turned to 2025. The Yankees came in with high hopes, boasting a talented roster and a bullpen that on paper looked capable of shutting down opponents late in games. But the reality has been far more complicated, filled with unexpected struggles, tough decisions, and the kind of uncertainty that keeps fans up at night. Boone's decision to open up the closer role is a clear message. Nothing is guaranteed, and everyone has to earn their spot. It's a challenge to the entire bullpen to step up and perform, to bring a new level of consistency and resilience to a team desperate for stability. The pressure is immense, but so is the opportunity. The bullpen has always been a critical part of any successful team, and for the Yankees, finding the right closer could be the key to unlocking the potential they've shown in flashes but have struggled to sustain. Bednar's recent performance is encouraging, but it's just the beginning of a long road ahead. The competition for the 9th inning will be fierce, and every pitch will count. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. In a surprising and still unofficially confirmed twist shaking the baseball community, Major League Baseball may be on the verge of imposing one of its most controversial decisions in recent memory, according to emerging whispers from Anonymous. Insiders close to the situation, MLB could be finalizing a punitive measure that involves retroactively stripping the New York Yankees of 4 regular season wins from their current campaign. The reason, though not yet officially announced, is reportedly tied to alleged violations of in-game conduct or procedural infractions that may have been overlooked during the regular schedule. While some speculate this might relate to potential mismanagement of replay reviews, others whisper about deeper issues, perhaps involving unauthorized use of technology similar to scandals of the past. No concrete evidence has yet been made public, but the story is already dominating social media threads and fueling heated debates on sports radio stations across the country. If confirmed, the punishment would drastically alter the American League standings, throwing postseason projections into chaos and severely damaging the Yankees' pursuit of a divisional title. Still, with no press conference scheduled and no official word, fans are left in the dark, clinging only to the growing buzz that refuses to quiet. What's perhaps most puzzling about this development is its sudden and quiet surfacing during what was supposed to be a relatively calm stretch in the MLB calendar. With the trade deadline behind us and playoff races starting to heat up, this kind of disciplinary action, especially one with such a significant impact, would usually be accompanied by transparency and immediate justification. Yet, that's not the case here. Several sources claim that internal communications within MLB have leaked hints of a coming announcement, though the league remains silent to the public. Some speculate this silence is intentional, meant to give the Yankees time to internally respond or possibly to allow affected teams to prepare for a realignment of the standings. The idea that 4 victories could simply vanish from a team's record without explanation is nearly unheard of in modern professional sports. Legal analysts are already wondering whether the Yankees might consider an appeal if the decision becomes official. There's even talk that the franchise could challenge the ruling on procedural grounds, citing lack of transparency and insufficient time to prepare a defense. Until then, speculation continues to mount, and insiders insist this isn't just noise, something real may be coming. Fan reaction has been swift and divided, especially in the heart of New York, where Yankee supporters are expressing disbelief and outrage over what many view as a targeted attack on the most storied franchise in baseball. Online forums are filled with theories ranging from the plausible to the outrageous, including claims of rival teams pressuring the league office or old grudges influencing the decision. More grounded voices in the media are urging patience, reminding the public that nothing official has been confirmed, though that hasn't stopped the speculation. Some point to suspicious plays earlier in the season where calls may have gone unusually in favor of the Yankees, including one controversial walk-off win against the Rays that was later called into question. Others reference a mid-season umpire confrontation that quietly disappeared from headlines but may have held more weight behind the scenes. In the absence of official facts, rumors continue to swell, creating an atmosphere where nearly anything seems possible. Until the league speaks, the Yankees' win total on paper remains intact, but the very real possibility of losing 4 victories looms over every conversation, casting a shadow on what had been a promising season. Behind closed doors, the Yankees' front office is reportedly scrambling, holding emergency meetings to strategize their response to what could be a public relations nightmare. Though no executive has spoken on record, internal leaks suggest that some within the organization feel blindsided, especially if this is indeed related to conduct that was previously reviewed or deemed minor. There's also talk that players have been warned not to comment publicly, fueling even more speculation that the situation is serious. Some speculate the Yankees may attempt to preemptively release a statement denying any wrongdoing, while others believe they are preparing to comply quietly to avoid further penalties. However, the risk to their season is enormous. 4 wins could be the difference between home field advantage, a wildcard spot, or missing the playoffs entirely. Such a loss wouldn't just affect standings, it could impact player bonuses, contract negotiations, and even managerial evaluations. The sense around the league is that other teams are watching closely, hoping for clarity and consistency in whatever punishment may be applied. Until then, the Bronx remains tense, Unsure whether the 2025 postseason dream is about to be reshaped by factors far beyond the field of play. As the rumor mill continues to churn, it's impossible to ignore the wider implications of this unfolding situation. If MLB does go forward with stripping wins from the Yankees, it sets a powerful precedent, one that could fundamentally alter how infractions are addressed in the future. Never before has a team had multiple wins removed without clear, immediate evidence made public. Such a move could embolden other franchises to challenge games retroactively, opening a floodgate of demands for reversal based on technicalities. It also raises concerns about transparency and governance within the league, potentially damaging MLB's credibility in the eyes of both fans and stakeholders. Yet despite all the uncertainty, there's still the possibility that this is nothing more than a false alarm, a rumor blown out of proportion, a distraction during a slow news cycle. But if the whispers are true, and the league confirms this historic decision in the coming days, baseball may find itself facing an entirely new chapter in its long and complex relationship with fairness, accountability, and the integrity of competition. For now, the baseball world holds its breath, waiting for the moment when rumor either becomes reality or disappears into silence. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.